All right, and we are back. This is NHL 20 Franchise Mode Calgary Flames. This is episode number 38. Yes, welcome back to our franchise mode here at the Calgary Flames, and welcome to the trade deadline here in the year of 2024, what is our fifth season here as GM of the Calgary Flames, and of course, still trying to win that Stanley Cup, and this is the time of year that you really try and take a shot at it here at the trade deadline, and what a trade deadline it really could be for the Calgary Flames. I'm going to get right into it because I think this potentially could be an very exciting episode, but we'll see. The reason is obviously I went off camera just before this episode and just looked at what our options are here at the trade deadline. First, we got to set the scene. Here we are in our fifth season. We've had a much better year than we did the previous year. Again, first 3 years, made the Stanley Cup playoffs, made it to the second round the first 2 years, Western Conference Finals the third year. Last year in our fourth year, took a massive step back. Didn't even make the playoffs. Technically finished dead last in our division, but again, 7 points separated first and seventh. This year's been a much better response. We're back to that championship caliber form that we should be at, as the Calgary Flames. And you can see now at the deadline, we are sitting at 79 points through 64 games with 18 games remaining. So yeah, I mean, you can see we're back near the top of our division, just 1 point out from San Jose, who sits number 1 in our div. It's looking like we'll make the playoffs. Again, still lots to be decided. 18 games, anything can happen. There's a lot more separation in our division this year than there was last year, which is also good news for us in terms of making the playoffs. But yeah, we want to be contending for our division, and again, it's not just what happens in the regular season standings. It's obviously when we get to the Stanley Cup playoffs, we want to obviously be winning that Stanley Cup. So, like I said, I want to jump right into it. Lots to get into here in this episode. I want to do a lot of simming as well after the deadline. Maybe see if we can get up to the playoffs. By the end of this video. So just taking a quick look, I'm not going to go through this on every player, but offense has been significantly down again this year, but you can see it's picking back up. We looked at the last video, and I think McKinnon was just under a point a game. Well, now he's at 75 points in 64 games. Much better. That's the type of MVP we expected when we got him in the free agency and signed him to that massive $12.3 million contract per season for what was like 6 years. So he's back to performing. He's already hit the 30-goal plateau at the 64-game mark. That's what you want to see. Lindholm on that top line as well. It's almost a point a game. Johnny Gaudreau's just under a point a game. This is good because, I mean, they were well below, a point a game. They're starting to pick it up. I mean, Gaudreau's almost at 30 goals at 26. Gaudreau, Lindholm, McKinnon, that top line is doing better. Matthew Tkachuk on the second line has hit the 50-point plateau. He's very consistent as a second-line player. He's always good for somewhere between 50, 60 points. Looks like he'll definitely get there. He's already in the 20 goals as well. Monahan, of course, you want to see a little bit more, especially since we signed with that huge contract, 10 million, I think it was, per season. He is playing the entire season on the second line behind McKinnon. Again, he's not our top line center for the first time in probably in his entire career with the Calgary Flames. Obviously, Monahan's only getting second line minutes. Still should be putting up, 50 to 60 points, and it looks like that's what he'll be putting up. Probably over 20 goals. We know Monahan's not going to get to 30 goals like he used to back in the day. He'll still hit, probably somewhere between 20 to 30, 50 points. So, we're getting better production out of these top guys is what I'm trying to say here. Domi is still struggling at just 37 points, so and a -2 rating. Still want to see a lot more out of Max Domi, so that's a concern. Dylan Dubé's really struggling on the third line. 25 points, that's not really what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the -14 here for Dylan Dubé. He's anchoring that bottom six. He's at 84, and this is the first year where Dylan Dubé has really been given the reins to really anchor that third line, but not just the third line, the entire bottom six. Like, he is by far our best player. He is the guy that's leading our bottom six, and he's really struggling at that, especially at the center position. He's terrible in the face-off dot. I don't know if we can quickly run over here and see what his face-off percentage is. 45% in the face-off dots. That's not too bad, but he could be better. But it's the -14 that's really hitting me here. He leads our team in that category. Bennett at a -5. Bodker at a -4 on that third line. That third line's struggling, as is the fourth line. Could use a little bit more help down there. I'm not looking at the defense right now because the defense has been fine, and I'm going to show you that here in a second. I think our team stats reflect that. Again, we sit sixth in the entire NHL when we look at entire standings here. So this Tampa Bay leading the way with 84 points. Again, we're just 5 points back of them for the President Trophy race there with 79, and again just 1 point back of San Jose in our division. So I mean, we're sixth in the NHL. We're near the top. That's where you want to be. We're within reach of the top spot in the league. So I mean, again, that's where you want to be. Goals for per game has significantly been down this year, just like it was last year, but it is starting to improve. When we go here by goals for per game, best goals for per game here, you can see Toronto, Tampa still lead the way, but when we come down here, there we are about halfway. So again, this is a huge improvement from where we were, at the beginning of the season, at the 20 game mark, at the 41 game mark, whatever we checked in at the beginning of the last episode there in episode 37. We're at about the halfway mark, and that's huge. That's huge improvement. Considering I think we were in the bottom 5 for most of the year in goals for per game, including around dead last at one point. I can't even remember. That's a massive improvement. So that's what you want to see. Goals against per game is just stellar. We're still second in the NHL in goals against per game. We've been near 1 or 2 the entire year in goals against. It's been really good. Not a concern at all. Power play is getting better as well. Again, we are still near the bottom, I believe, in the power play. Yeah, we're in the bottom 10 still. I believe 7th worst on the power play. But again, that's massive improvement considering that we were pretty much dead last on the power play. We really struggled on the power play this year, as we did last year as well. But we're starting to see some slow improvement in both goals for and the power play, which is nice. PK looks good as well. I think we actually did slip a little bit in the PK, but we're still around the halfway point in the PK. So we did slip. I think we were in the top half or the top 10. We've slipped there, but again, that's something we can monitor. We've got enough defensive players to definitely look after that. So the reason I'm wanting to show you that is, this is kind of a gauge of what we can do here at the trade deadline. Obviously, like I said, I don't think we have to worry about a defensive core at all. I don't think we have to worry about goaltending, as inconsistent as our goaltending has been this year with Binnington and Allen. We've actually, I don't think we need to worry about it at all. So taking a look here at our lines here, like I said, this top line is doing pretty good now that they've started to pick up their production here in the second half. Kachuk, Monahan, you're getting what probably you're going to get out of these two on a second line. Monahan, you do want to see a little bit more because he is a 91 still, but again, I mean, it is what it is. He's only getting the second line minutes. I don't know if that has a factor. Domi is a little disappointing on that line. You'd want to see a lot more of Max Domi, especially at 86 overall. Don't forget, Domi's making $7 million per season. I think he's still got like 4 years left on his contract. So you do want to see a lot more out of a guy like Max Domi. We're not going to trade Domi now. I was thinking about it, prior to this episode. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. He's still, he's still producing a bit. He's still, he's a centerman. He's 86 overall. He's still, he still can contribute to this team this year. Depending what happens this year and then in the playoffs, we can definitely explore trading Max Domi in the offseason, because this is now a back-to-back years where he's taken a huge step back from when we got him in our first year, at the trade deadline. What was it, 4 years ago? Like I said, down here in our bottom 6, Dylan Dubé really struggling. But again, look at the talent around him. It's not a lot of talent. With all due respect to Bennett and Bodker, 81 is not, not really good. They're struggling as well. The fourth line is what it is. Phillips is struggling down there as well. But Dubé's really struggling to anchor this third line. And as we know, we need depth down here. And we can't just rely on our top 6. So these guys have to kind of pick it up a bit, and maybe that's what we can address here at the trade deadline. And I think it is what we're going to. Again, not even going to touch defense. This is fine. Hanifin, Valimaki, Anderson, Manson, Shillington, Forsling, getting the job done there. If anything, I would like to add a 7th defenseman with a little bit of playoff experience, but we can look at that maybe in a bit. Special teams, yeah, well, we'll look at that later. Goalies, Binnington and Allen, like I said, we don't have to worry about that. So I want to get right into it, because like I said, I don't know if we'll get all the simming done in this episode, but we'll try to get as much as we can. But we'll see how big of a deadline this is, because there's a potential. I'm going to say this. I went through the trading blocks of all the teams. What I did is I was looking more for just a forward. Maybe looking for somebody that could help us score, maybe more of a sniper, somebody that could help us put up some goals, because again, we are improving in goals for, but I'd still like to see a lot more improvement in the goals for category heading into the playoffs. Like I said, I think we're fine in defense. I think we're fine in goals against with goaltending. It's just we probably want to add a little bit more offensive talent, which is crazy to think of. How good of an offensive team we already have, or we should have, with the players that we have, with McKinnon's, Gaudreau, Monahan. These guys should be getting it done on their own, but a little bit of offensive help probably wouldn't hurt as well, for them, as they are struggling still to their standards. Again, they're picking it up, but to their standards, they're struggling. So what I did is I went on the trade block and I looked at I was looking at the names, just looking at guys that can maybe pop into our third line, with Dylan Dubé, and help give us some depth scoring, or maybe even pop into our second line, and if we had to drop Domi down onto a line with Dubé, something like that. And then I came across one insanely interesting, I don't even know what to say. Hard to pass on name. We'll get to that in a second. Then there was another name as well out there that you're another player that obviously would be our backup plan. Is still a really good player that I think we should go after. So it's pretty much down to a 2-horse race. I didn't go deep in depth. I just went in the trading block. I didn't go into the trade screen and look at every single team and all the players, but I looked at the trading block, which is the 3 players that each team is listing, and just saw what was out there for us. So let's get right into that. Let's go into management here. First of all, we do have a problem though. We have no salary cap space, so this is going to make it tough. Just going here quickly. So yeah, it's tough because we've got 0.19 to work with. We don't even have $1 million to work with, and rightfully so. Come over here to our salary list here of the highest paid players. Excuse me, McKinnon, like I said, 12.3. Gaudreau and Monahan dueling $10 million contracts. These 3 players alone are eating up most of our salary. Juuso Välimäki at $7 million. Domi, like I said, at $7 million. Over $6 million there for Kachuk. Just around $5 million there for Manza. So we've got a lot of guys that are eating up a lot of salary here as you go down the list. So you can see down here, even guys like Lindholm still making 4.5, or excuse me, Anderson 4.5, almost $5 million for both Hanifin and Lindholm. It's just a lot of salary. We don't have a lot of space, and it makes sense when you look at this list here. Excuse me. So it's tough. It's going to be tough to get any player, let alone the guys I'm looking at. So yeah, we have to, it's going to be tough. We're going to have to, now the other thing is we do have a lot of trading chips. Now, we're not going to trade any of these guys because we can't touch anybody on our roster right now. Maybe with exception of somebody down here, but we're trying to win with the team we have now. We are, like I said, we're sitting in a good spot. We're sitting at at second in our div. We're sitting at just 5 points out of first place in the entire NHL. We don't want to go trading a lot here at the deadline and screw up our team. We have to be careful with what we do, and that's why I don't want to really trade away any franchise. I was looking at McKinnon's tag here, at any roster players right now, because I don't want to screw up what we've got. I just want to bring in a piece to help bolster what we've got. Obviously going into the playoffs, and we're really trying to show. And I think with the potential player that we're going after at this deadline, we're really trying to show that to the rest of the NHL, excuse me, that we are a legit cup contender. We're trying to show that this is the year for us, that we're trying to win the Stanley Cup, for God's sake. We've been at it for almost 5 years, and our team's not getting any younger. The window and guys like Gaudreau and Monahan and the rest of our core, we have McKinnon for a little bit longer, but our core is starting to thin. We need a win now with this team. We don't have a lot of years left to win, so we have to be full out at this point. We've been full out for the last how many years, but we really got to be full out at this point. The only other thing I wanted to show you when I was in that screen is that we do have a lot of trading chips outside of our roster players. Now, we do have a good not a good prospect pool, but we do have some prospects that teams are interested in. I don't know if you can go down here by Anaheim's interested in our roster players, so it's not going to show. But we do have some prospects out. Obviously, I'll give up prospects at this point. But look at our draft picks. Don't forget what we did in the summer. We got ourselves 3 first-round picks in this year's draft. This is insane. The fact that we still have 3 first-round picks, we have a second, and then I think next year we have just 1 first-round pick. Okay. Thought we had a couple, but still, the fact that we have 3 first-round picks, we don't need these 3 first-round picks. I would be okay going out the draft floor with just a second-round pick, as odd as that sounds. I mean, you always want to have a first-round pick, but if any of these picks could land us a player, then I'll do it. I mean, that's why we got these picks. As trading chips. That's why we made those moves in the off season. And acquired picks because we and don't forget when we traded Mangiapane for this pick. To the Toronto Maple Leafs. We traded Backlund to the Capitals for this pick. So, I mean, the reason we traded these picks in the summer for first-round picks was because we were trying to clear up that salary cap space to sign Nathan MacKinnon. So we didn't want to bring back any roster players or anybody with salary. We just wanted to bring back picks, and luckily for us, both Mangiapane and Backlund were worth first-round picks. So I mean, it got us trading chips at the same time as it freed up salary cap space. I mean, it was a no-brainer. And now we have those. We stored away those first-round picks as trading chips, and they could be huge for us now at the deadline. I mean, it's just I can't believe how well that part worked out for us. We'll see if it works out though here in a trade. So I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to get right into the trading block and show you what name I'm looking at, and it's like I said, it's absolutely insane. But I don't even think it's going to work. To be honest, I don't think it's going to work. I have a backup player, and I'll show you him as well. So let's get right to it. So like I said, I went through this screen here, went through the trading block, and saw everything that was out there. There's some good defensemen out here, like Krug, Schultz. We're not looking at defense. I looked at maybe Ryan Getzlaf, but 79, I thought we could do better, or a lot better. So I'll keep going down this list. And there it is. So obviously Kane, Taves. You're not going to get these guys $10 million almost per season, but look who is over here sitting in the weeds on the right side. If it is not Alex Ovechkin himself. All right, so again, a little bit of history here. If you had not watched the previous episodes, Ovechkin, one of the guys we highly went after in the summer. We went after McKinnon, Larkin, and Ovechkin. Obviously wanting to get McKinnon first, and then a toss-up between Ovechkin and Larkin. We wanted that huge piece in the offseason. We got it in Nathan MacKinnon. But Alex Ovechkin was a guy that we thought would be a really good backup plan to if we didn't get McKinnon, and because of his still elite scoring ability, and that's all Ovechkin is one of the most elite scorers, not only in the game right now, but probably the game's ever seen. He'll probably go down as the greatest goal scorer in the history of the game. And so, I mean, it was a no-brainer to try and go after him in the summer, and now look at this. This is the interesting part, though. Look down at his salary, $6.5 for 1 year. This guy was asking for just over $8 million for 2 years in free agency, and we were prepared to pay him that. It looks like he chose to go to Chicago Blackhawks, but he took a massive pay cut by almost $1.5 million from what he was asking for. You don't rarely see that with free agents. Usually they get exactly what they're asking for, if not sometimes like highly coveted free agents, I should say. Usually they get exactly what they're asking for, or they get a lot more. Like in the case with McKinnon, he was only asking for 11 point something, and we gave him 12.3. Obviously, we had to up it as he was the biggest name out there. But I was surprised because you'll remember when we were going through it, after McKinnon chose us and Larkin moved on, Ovechkin was still there. And I was kind of wondering, why is Ovechkin still on the free agent market? Well, I guess maybe teams just weren't interested. Maybe there weren't as many teams interested in him as we thought. And I don't know why, because he's still capable of being one of the most lethal point producers and goal scorers in the game. Yes, he's 38 years of age, but he only wanted a 2-year contract, and he ended up only signing a 1-year contract, which is a massive steal for the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, so here he is, 22 goals, 21 assists. Obviously 43 points there on the season. So, I mean, he did exactly what I predicted he would do. I thought he would hit around 30 goals and around 50 to 60 points. It looks like he's on track for that. 22 goals with 18 games to go. It looks like he'll probably hit 30 and, 43 points. He'll probably hit the 50 to 60 point plateau. I did not expect Ovechkin to hit, 50 goals, 70, 80 points like he usually does in his career. I knew he would take a step back, but that step back in Ovechkin's standards is still pretty damn good. Like the fact that he would, if he still hits 30 goals and 50 to 60 points, he's still one of our top players in terms of goals and points on our team. Like that's how bizarre it is. Like I knew he wouldn't be the Ovechkin that everybody knows, but he's still lethal. Look at his obviously his stats there in the shooting category on the right side: 93, 96, 91, 93. I mean, this guy is just a pure sniper, elite goal scorer. And again, he's only got a year left on his contract. I mean, we could bring him in for the playoffs and just see what he can do. Maybe put him on one of our top 2 lines and just see if he can play with some of the elite playmakers that we have. He's on a Chicago team here that's actually pretty decent. I went and quickly looked at their lines. I'm going to show you really quickly here, because I just thought this was interesting to look at, where he's playing on this team. Is he on the top line or what? So I went down to their team here, and he is on the top line here with Kirby Dach, Alex DeBrincat. Look how good that top line is, though. 86, 88, 84. Nylander, 87, 87, and 85 there for Kane. So they have actually a really good top 6, and Chicago is, I just looked at it in the standings, they're about 10 points back of a playoff spot in their division. So, I mean, I think what they're trying to do by trading away Taves and Kane and Ovechkin here at the deadline, or at least putting them on the block, is they're trying to rebuild, and that's what they're listed as right now, as a rebuilder. You look at guys like DeBrincat here, 26 years of age, Kirby Dach, 23 years of age, Nylander, 25. These are the guys, Dylan Strome even at 85, already on the third line at 26. Brendan Perlini there is 84, 27. Like, they have a good younger core. They don't need Taves, Kane, and Ovechkin. If I had to predict, or I guess not if I had to predict, but if I was the Chicago Blackhawks management in the summer, I'd get rid of all 3 of these guys. And as hard as it is to get rid of, especially Taves and Kane, with the longevity that they've had with this organization, they got a really good core with guys like DeBrincat, Dach, Nylander, Perlini, Strome. They could really turn it around. Like, these guys are good now. They could turn it around quickly and win Stanley Cups within the next few years, if they start building around these guys. And then imagine the salary cap they would free up with Taves, Kane. That's $20 million right there. Ovechkin, another 6. I mean, you could bring in some bigger, younger free agents. They could have went after a guy like Nathan McKinnon, theoretically, if this was a year later. Now, I mean, this is the Chicago Blackhawks, going to try and stay on topic here, because we are not the GM of the Chicago Blackhawks, but that's, it's an interesting team. But they do sit 10 points out of a playoff spot. But the big thing here is just wanted to see where Ovechkin was playing, and he is playing on the top line. So, that gives you a little bit of a gauge. If he's on your top line, he's probably going to put up around 30 goals and 50 to 60 points. Exactly what I predicted. If we went and got Ovechkin in the summer, he would have been probably playing on our top line with Monahan and Gaudreau. I'm guessing. I don't know. But so that is what it is. So that's where it's interesting. Actually, I want to go back to trade block here. That's where it's interesting, because I mean, the fact that Chicago went and got him, obviously, their season didn't go the way as planned with him, and now they're at the deadline 10 points out of a playoff spot. So they're looking to move on from Ovechkin, and they only did sign him to a 1-year contract. So I just couldn't pass on that name. He's there. I mean, look at it again, and also look at his trade value. Look how low his trade value is. That's the other crazy thing about this. He's got a decently low trade value, and it's because he's got no term left on his contract, and he's 38 years of age. So it brings his trade value down significantly. So we even if it was a lot higher, even if it was like Taves or Kane's trade value, like, we could theoretically, minus the salary problems, we could go out and get a Taves and Kane, because we have 3 first-round picks. Like, we could offer Chicago picks, which they want because they're a rebuilding team. We could get either of these guys, but because of the salary, I mean, there's no way we're getting that. It's going to be hard to work the salary in here with Ovechkin, and I'll show you that in a second. Yeah, I mean, there's so much about Ovechkin. He's exactly what we need, a pure sniper. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. Only other name I saw in here, again, I'm going to go through this really quickly. Only other name was from Mini, and maybe it will be a backup plan, is Kevin Fiala here. Really good still, 84. He's not an Ovechkin, but he's also a sniper. He's got 1 year left at 4.2, so he's making about $2 million less than Ovechkin, with also just 1 year left. Again, we're just going after a rental at this point. He's also got some pretty good stats there, 88 all the way down the board in the shooting category. Quite a fast player as well when it comes to skating there. So yeah, I mean, he would fit in with our team as well. Like I said, 22 goals, 25 assists there. Excuse me. So I mean, he could fit in with our team. We could throw him on a wing. And again, just thinking, maybe we throw Max Domi down to the third line, Dylan Dubé, and try Kevin Fiala, or an Ovechkin on one of our top 2 lines, maybe that second line. if we keep laying home. We got options is what I'm saying, which is nice because don't forget Domi is also a centerman, so we could also throw Max Domi into the middle, throw Dubé onto the wing. We got a lot of options here. So this is pretty much the only other name I saw on there was Kevin Fiala when I went through the training block. So I mean, I think we'll try, like I said, we'll try Ovechkin first. I mean, I don't know how you don't, but if it doesn't work out, which is, it's going to be hard to make it work out with him, then we can definitely try Kevin Fiala. And even it's going to be hard because we've got no salary. Like, that's the problem. We got absolutely zero salary at all. So it's going to be tough. But let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can get working here. Like I said, I don't know how much simming we'll get done this episode because I really want to, see if we can get one of these pieces here at the deadline, and see what we can do here. And again, it's really about, like, this is the year. This is the year to win the Stanley Cup. We have to make it happen now. This has to be our year because, I mean, our window's getting so tight. We'll see what we can do in the summer, but it's going to be so tight here. We're already 4 full years in, 5 full years in. Sorry, yeah, 5. So we gotta get something going here. So let's get right in it. Let's try this. I mean, this is gonna be interesting. Let me take a drink here actually because I am. Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. So yeah, let's get right into this trade screen here. All right. Get right to the Chicago Blackhawks and see what we can do. Now, the biggest thing here is I've already kind of looked at it. We're going to have to get them to retain salary. We are going to have to get them to retain pretty much as much of Ovechkin's salary as we can. Where am I going here? Where am I going? Let's go by, I guess we'll go by overall. All right. There he is, Ovechkin. So, I mean, obviously they want to give the player away. He was on their training block. They really want to give it. And look in the bottom right corner there. Their status is rebuilder. Our status is champion. I mean, this just makes a lot of sense. They are a rebuilding team. We are a championship caliber team. We want to win a cup. They want to rebuild. This makes too much sense for both sides. The only problem, do we have the pieces to make it work? So first things first is, like I said, we can't give away any roster players because we need our players as much as we need to get rid of the salary cap. So first things first is we have to throw in a first, which I think will get it done on its own. So let's try Ovechkin's former team. Let's try the Washington Capitals and see if maybe we can get throw around. I'm all over the map today. Let's see if we can maybe trade away their first round pick that we got in the Michael Backlund trade and give them Washington's first for the former Washington Capital and Alex Ovechkin. Now you can see the bottom. That's already gonna if it wasn't for the stupid salary cap, this would be an easy trade. We would just hands down make this trade. First round pick for Alex Ovechkin. It's in their favor heavily when you look at the trade value at the bottom. But obviously it's not going to work. So what we have to do here is get them to retain pretty much all of his salary here that they can, the 50%. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to 50. Yeah, we're going to go right up to 50%. So they would be retaining 3.28 of his 1 year left, which again, realistically, that makes sense for them. They're not going to be making the playoffs. It's only 1 year. They can eat 3.28 million. And the trade is still in their favor. Watch this. When we go back here, even with the retained salary, it's still in their favor. Like, I mean, my God. But still, that is not enough. So, we have to get rid of some sort of salary off of our team. So this is where, it gets tough because, like I said, I don't want to give away anybody on our team that is going to contribute to a possible Stanley Cup run here. So, I mean, we can't touch any of these guys here in the top. Can't touch anybody from our defense. It's down here where we can look at maybe like Dubé. I don't want to get rid of yet. He's still young, 25 years of age. I don't want to give up on him yet. He had a not bad, but a not as good of a year this year. But it is his first year really anchoring that top line or that third line. So I don't want to give him up yet. Bodker, we could. Bennett, we could. I wouldn't mind maybe one of these two. Bodker's a lot older, obviously. So we could try Bodker first. Other than that, when you get down here, there's not a lot of guys with salary. Like, I mean, we can't give them a Gunnarsson, a Shore, because that's not going to do anything. Let's try Bodker because he is making 2.5. Will that work? Right now it does. It's league approved. They don't want Michael Bodker. But I mean, if this is the piece that puts us over the top now, the problem is Bodker's got 3 years left, and I don't think they're going to want 3 years of Micah Bodker. So we might have to add another piece, like another draft pick, to really put it in their favor. Already, though, this should be in their favor. Like, again, look at the trade value at the bottom. Look how high our trade value is compared to theirs. They are winning this trade by a mile, getting a pretty good first-round pick to build with in the future. And I know they don't probably want Bodker, who's making 2.5 for not 3 years, but he's a good veteran piece that could come in and maybe play your second, third line. I don't know. Again, I'm not the GM of the Chicago Blackhawks, but I think this is a trade in their favor, and they're getting rid of one of the players that they don't want. They probably weren't going to re-sign him anyway in free agency, so they'd probably lose him for nothing, because obviously he wouldn't re-sign in Chicago. So I mean, like, this makes sense for Chicago. I wish they would do this. I don't know. I haven't tried this. I don't know what they're going to do. So let's try it for the first time. Let's offer a first-round pick and Michael Bodker for Alex Ovechkin. Let's see what the Hawks say. It's heavily in their favor, but will they deny it? Wow, they accept it. Okay, this is an absolute no-brainer for us here in Chicago. I'm going to accept this. Okay, you know what? They say it's a no-brainer for them. I think it's a no-brainer for us as well, though. Wow. Okay, a first-round pick and Bodker. We got rid of Bodker. We dumped his salary. We dumped him. And we got him to Chicago. He wasn't doing much on our team this year. Remember, we just went in and got him as a filler, in like August, like late August. We needed somebody for a third line to fill him, and I just went in free agency and signed Bodker. He didn't do a lot with our team this year. I didn't think Chicago was going to accept this just because I didn't think they wanted the term in Bodker. I didn't think they wanted to retain salary. But again, realistically, it makes sense. I just thought it might be, the system might be stupid with that or whatever. So, all right. Oh, for fuck's sakes. You got to be kidding me. Okay, do we have to send somebody down to the minors? Like, oh, fuck's sakes. It better not be salary related here. All right, so we'll send... I don't know. Do we send... who do we got here? Who do we got? Send Shore down. Okay, send Shore down, and that will allow us to bring Ovechkin up. Please tell me this isn't that stupid glitch here. All right. All right, it worked. Okay, good. God. A few franchise modes ago, I had a huge problem with this screen when you would acquire players especially at the deadline or whatever, they wouldn't allow you to put them on their team, and it was just, I don't want to get into it. All right, anyways, let's go to edit lines here, because we have to fix these lines quickly. So what it is we just had one too many forwards. All right. I sent Shore down. I could have sent Zarnik down. It didn't matter. So let's just throw Zarnik in here. Yeah, I'll fix the lines here off camera here in a second. And then let's just throw Ovechkin in here. Ovechkin is technically a left winger. But how cool is that? Alex Ovechkin is a member of the Calgary Flames. Did you ever think you'd see the day? Again, this guy will probably go down as one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Probably a top 5 player in the history of the NHL, and definitely will go down as the greatest goal scorer the game's ever seen. The fact that he has, those titles already attached to him, is insane. Think about, Iginla and Yager, some of the biggest names, in hockey history to ever play for the Flames. Ovechkin might be the biggest name when it's all said and done that will ever wear a Flames uniform. I know it's going to be for a short period of time, but just the fact that, people would look back one day of this in real life and say, oh, hey, Ovechkin played for the Flames. That's just cool. Like, he is legendary, beyond legendary status already, and his career is not even over. So anyways, that's just cool to see the Flames logo next to Ovechkin and to see him on our team. All right, so let's, and again, I think that trade was fair for both sides. I'm not going to dive deep into it, but I really do think that made a lot of sense realistically. Again, when we looked at where Chicago was as a rebuilder team, when we looked at, how much it made sense for them to acquire a pick and get rid of Ovechkin's salary because they weren't going to get him for anything. It just worked out for both sides. Hopefully it works out for us though. So the first thing I want to do here is, because Domi has not has struggled a little bit, do we throw Domi down here for now and try Ovechkin on this line with Tkachuk and Monahan? I'm even tempted to throw me on here with McKinnon, and like, could you imagine Gaudreau, McKinnon, Ovechkin? But right now Lindholm's playing all right. But I think we can definitely try trading that in if we need to. Right now we'll try him with Tkachuk and Monahan. Let's just look at what we got here. We got a power forward, we got a two-way forward, and we got a sniper. That's kind of why I want to put him on with Gaudreau, because I'd like him to have a playmaker to play with. But we'll see what he's like here with Monahan and Tkachuk. Again, high-end players here as well. 86 and 91. Like, that should give Ovechkin a lot of talent to play with here on the second line. He's got, he had a pretty good players in what was it, Kirby Dach and Alex DeBrincat in Chicago to play with, but these are equally, if not slightly better players to play with in Tkachuk and Monahan. Again, 91 in Monahan. I know he's not doing good, but he should be better. That will also give Dubé some more something better to work with down here. And who's got a better face-off percentage? 79 for and 78. So they're about the same in the face-off circle. I don't think it shows Domi's face-off stats here, but we could try switching them around. But right now we'll keep it like that. Bennett, Dubé, Domi. That gives a Dubé an elite player to and an elite defensive player too. Because don't forget, Domi's not bad at defensive stats either. 88, 85, 89 down there. So that should give him some help on that third line. They struggled, like I said. This line was heavily in the minuses when Bodker was there. With Bennett and Dubé, we brought it down a defensive-based player, a slightly defensive-based player to play with Dubé now, so that should even that part out, give him another high-caliber player to play with. Hopefully that balances out this third line and, obviously the bottom six in general, and Ovechkin hopefully boost our top six with some sniping ability. So this is exciting. I didn't know if it was going to work. It has worked. Very happy, obviously, the way it worked out. I was thinking of going after a seventh defenseman, but you know what? We'll just roll with what we got. We got Andrew Nielsen who can step in. And I don't really want to go through this whole process to look for seventh defenseman again. So you know what? We'll just move on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go edit all the lines to get Ovechkin onto our power play, into all the other situations we need to, and make sure our lines are set for the final 18 games here as we run up to the playoffs. I can't believe we made that trade. Huge trade at the deadline for the Calgary Flames, again trading away our first round pick and Michael Bodker to the Chicago Blackhawks for Alex Ovechkin. So give me a second. Let me fix all these lines. Alright, so we're back here. So I just finished fixing all the lines here. I basically just was fixing, because we didn't put Valimaki back after he got injured, so I put Valimaki back in there. I got Ovechkin. Look at this. Ovechkin on his usual spot on the power play, left point there, so he can get his one-timer off. Again, I don't know if it matters in a video game, but if this is real life, you would definitely be putting Ovechkin in that spot no matter what your power play looks like. Our power play needs to improve anyway. It has improved a bit lately, but it needs to improve some more. Look at this unit, though. Gaudreau, McKinnon, Lindholm, Ovechkin on the point with Hanifin. Like, that is so lethal. Even the second unit now, Tkachuk, Monahan, Domi, and then Valimaki, and we're going to still double shift McKinnon on the second unit. These are two very elite units. I hope our power play improves now as we switch them up again and put Ovechkin back there. Put Valimaki as well back on there as he was not on there from being injured. Other than that, we just put Ovechkin in a few spots here. PK, we didn't obviously put him in there, but we switched things around in there. He's one of the extra tacklers there. 3-on-3, he's on there as well. I even put him in the shootout here. I thought we'll try him now there at the fourth spot again. We haven't been good in overtime and shootout at all this year in extra time, despite how talented our team is. So I thought we switched that up a bit and see if that maybe makes a difference. So it is what it is there. We have acquired Alex Ovechkin. He's a member of the Calgary Flames after heavily trying to go after him in the summer. It ends up that we actually get both McKinnon and Ovechkin. We just had to wait half a season to get, or just over half a season, 2/3 of a season to get Alex Ovechkin on our team, but we finally do get Ovechkin. It's funny how things work out. Like I said, it just didn't go right in Chicago, and he comes to Calgary now, and hopefully it goes right here with Calgary, where he probably should have signed to begin with, Ovi. But again, we didn't have the salary cap space in the summer after we signed Nathan McKinnon here to his mega deal. We didn't have the salary cap space in the summer. I was thinking about it. If we had the space, I was like, do we get McKinnon? Like, after we got McKinnon, I was like, do we still go after like an Ovechkin? We could, because he was still sitting there. Like I said, the only problem is he was asking for $8 million. I didn't think he would take a pay cut down to 6.5. But even at 6.5, we just didn't have the salary cap space. Had I known it, I wouldn't have gone after Bodker. Maybe could have tried to free up salary cap space somewhere and got Ovechkin, but I mean, it's theoretical now. It doesn't matter. It's all set and done. We have him at the end of the day at the deadline. So let's sim up. We've made our trade. Like I said, only other trade I maybe would have been looking to do was got a depth defenseman in, but I'm not even going to worry about that right now. I just don't want to go through that process again. So I don't want to take up any more time. I want to start simming now. So let's get past this deadline. We're actually on a 3-day break before we we play St. Louis Blues. So let's get right up to this. Let's pass the deadline, see if there's any more big trades. Don't forget, there was a lot of big trades in the last episode leading up to the trade deadline, including one that made absolutely no sense. I think it was something like some stupid team, like I think it was Buffalo traded for Roman Josi and Victor Arvidsson, and they traded away like 2 first-round picks, and they're actually sitting for like dead last in the NHL, which makes no sense because they basically gave away the first overall pick for veteran roster players. But it is what it is. That was just bizarre in the last episode. Very unrealistic too, but we'll see what it is. All right, so Buffalo is placing Patrick Maroon on waivers. Would you like to claim him? 1 year left at 9-10 mil. Sure, we can put him in our farm system. I'm sure we could use the help down there. Patty Maroon. All right, so still trade trying to come in here just at the final minutes here. Trade deadline. Blues wanting this. I'm going to decline it. And here we go. Trade deadline day has officially come and gone. So there's no more big trades. Looks like we were the last big trade of the season. All right, so here we go. Our first game with Alex Ovechkin in the lineup. You can see the Sharks have already played, so they now jump 3 points ahead of us. Oilers now back at the standings here. Oilers now just 2 points back of us. Anaheim just 4 points back of us. So it's still tight. I mean, it's still a very tight race. We just got to keep winning. 18 games to go here. Let's see what we can do here. I'm just going to see if we can sim all these games, but let's get right into it. Let's start simming these games up and take a look at Ovechkin's first game as a Calgary Flame. This is exciting. Don't forget, he's on the second line right now with Monahan and Tkachuk to start. So here we go. Period by period. Flames and Blues first period, and it is 1-1. Matthew Tkachuk against the St. Louis native, against his hometown team. Vladimir Tarasenko 1-1 after 22nd period. Come on, Flames. We get goals from Max Domi twice, and Justin Falk, just as we're criticizing Domi. He's been demoted to the third line. He scores twice there. 3-2 Flames, and third period. Come on, Calgary. Fuck's sakes, they come from behind. Are you kidding me? It looks like a stall. I don't think it's not Jordan Stahl, but it's a stall. And Tarasenko scores again. They come from behind, and oh my God, they steal those 2 points from us. That's not fun. All right, let's take a look at how Ovechkin did in his Calgary Flames debut. Let's go by ice time here. All right, where is he? Okay, there. 19 minutes he played on the second line, +1, 6 shots already in his first game as a Calgary Flame. But 19 minutes, doesn't get a point. Does go +1 on this one. 2-point night there for McKinnon. All right, let's go down here. Binghamton against his former team, 8-9-2. Not as good. Be a little bit better there. Again, they came from behind in that third period, so we should have had that one. All right, so that's going to hurt, but we can turn it around here against Nashville. So here we go. Let's keep it going, keep the simming going. All right, so where do we probably slip here? No, we stayed second, but Anaheim now just a point back of us. Oilers still 2 points back of us for that wild card spot. So we want to keep winning here. All right, Nashville, let's go. All right, here we go. First period, Preds Flames. It is 1-1. Matthew Phillips, Matt Duchene, second period. We get 2 goals. There it is. Alex Ovechkin's first as a Calgary Flame. Comes in his second game with the Flames. Noah Hannafin also scoring. Here we go. Third period. Do we hang on? We do. Okay. That worried me a little bit. They get one there from Wolf. We get one from Monahan. It's the game winner on the power play. And that's a huge win for the Calgary Flames. So Ovechkin does score in his second game as a Flame. And the Calgary Flames get their first win since the trade deadline. All right. So why did Gus Forslake lead us all in ice time? I don't know why. He was a -3-2. That makes absolutely no sense. Anderson. All right. Hannafin, Lindholm. Manson Gaudreau. Ovechkin goes 60 minutes, 54 seconds here in his second game, and he does put up a goal, 4 shots in this one for Ovechkin in his second game as a Calgary Flame. Forgot to look at the goaltending stats, but that's okay. We'll just move on. All right, Boston here. All right, Juuso Valimaki injured again? No! Stop getting injured, Juuso. All right, till the 10th of March. Fuck's sakes. All right. We keep losing Valimaki, who's one of our top defensemen, obviously, and it's killing us. It really is killing us. All right, to the 10th. Fuck, I don't know how long that is. So we'll throw Anderson up here again. We'll throw Shillington up here. I hate this because we don't have a lot of depth. That's kind of why I wanted a 7th defenseman, but I mean, we'll have to just go with Nielsen here. How many games is that? The 10th. It might only be 1 game. It might only be the Boston game. So let's hope it's just 1 game, because I don't want to have to go in and replace all of Valimaki's lines here. All right, it looks like it will be at least 1 game. So here we go. Boston, what is Boston at? The good news is Boston's not a super good team down there. You can see it's 6th in their division, 65 points. So hopefully, we're hurting too much in this game without Valimaki. Look at these Sharks. Already jumped up to 87 points. Like, my God, Saddles. Like, calm down. I'm trying to catch you. All right. Boston here. All right, first period. 2-0 Bruins. McAvoy and Frederick. Second period here, nothing. Come on, Calgary. Where's our offense now? Come on, third period. We do get 2 late ones here. McKinnon and Anderson, but Jake DeBrusk is the decider in this one. Fuck's sakes. All right, it's 2 losses in our last 3 games since the deadline. Not liking that. Not liking that at all. Okay, let's keep going here. Hopefully we have Valimaki back by next game, though. Ovechkin goes 14 minutes in this game, which is 4 shots. 8-9-3. I wonder if we should try Jake Allen in goal. Binghamton hasn't played his best hockey since the deadline. And Dallas is a weaker team, so let's one of the worst teams in the league. So let's throw Allen in for a game here. We will get use of Valimaki back as expected. So let's quickly throw Valimaki back in here. Replace Andrew Nielsen in all line situations, please, with use of Valimaki. And then throw Valimaki back up here. We'll keep Anderson for now there. Let Valimaki recover on the second pairing. And let's go down to... What am I doing? Goalies. Let's throw Jake Allen in for a game here. You'll remember Jake Allen had a really good stretch of hockey, about halfway point of the season, where he had, a good 20-game stretch and was just rolling. All right, here we go. Dallas, Calgary. Again, Dallas, one of the worst teams in the league. We cannot afford to lose these points. Come on, Flames. Second period. Fuck's sakes, they get 2 goals. We get 1 from Anderson. Come on, Calgary. Big third period here. Come on, Calgary. Fucking Calgary. We can't be losing to one of the worst teams in the NHL. Like, Jesus Christ, we're trying to make the playoffs and win our division. My God. All right, this is not fun at all. -3 for Manson, -2 for McKinnon there, -3 for Valimaki. I'll also have to switch that up there. Ovechkin goes -3, yikes, in that one. So we'll have to switch up those lines. Jake Allen does go 906, which isn't bad. Just, it could be better. All right, so we'll go up to the team that we traded for Ovechkin with. Let's see if he can get some revenge against his former team in the Chicago Blackhawks. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to promote him to the top line so he can just do just that. What we're going to do is we're going to try just this little switch here, Ovechkin and Lindholm, like I said. We'll try that. We'll leave Domi for now. Defensive-wise, I want to put Valimaki up there, back to the top pairing, because they struggled. And we'll keep Jake Allen in net. We'll see what we've got here against Chicago. We got to start winning, though. 3 losses in our last 4 games. You can see we've already dropped down now to 3rd. 1 point back of Edmonton, who leaps us. And actually, Anaheim is just 1 point behind us for that wild card spot. So we don't want to sink any lower. We could get ourselves in some deep trouble here if we start sinking even more. It's getting tight in our division at the top there. We got to keep winning here and just taking care of our own business. So we have to start turning around some wins here. It's very important. Here we go. Chicago, Calgary, the same team that we just made that big trade with at the deadline. This would be a great time for Ovechkin to break out. All right, here we go. First period, nothing. Second period, where's our offense? There it is. Tkachuk and Hanifin. Third period, do we hang on? Yes, we do. 2 more goals coming from Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Phillips. So Ovechkin does not score against his former team, but we'll take the 4-0 shutout. I don't even want to look at the stats. Let's just go. All right, so we'll take that. I don't know if maybe Ovechkin had an assist or something on Gaudreau's goal, but we will take it. Next up, Mini. And that was a shutout for Jake Allen, so we'll keep him in goal here. All right, let's keep the wins going here. First period, 2-1 them. I don't like to see that. We get 1 from Wilson. Second period, tie it up. There we go. Max Domi, huge third period. Calgary, come on. 3-3, Monahan, Fiala. Okay, one of the players that we were maybe going to go after. Here we go. Extra time. Come on, overtime. We need that extra point. Shootout. Oh, my God. We continue to be god-awful in extra time, and I don't get it because I threw Ovechkin in the shootout as well. All right, we get a point. We get a point out of Mini. Need all those points, though, right now. We need to be winning. Ovechkin, 17 minutes there. How did Jake Allen do? 8-9. Let's... All right, Toronto. Let's throw Binghamton back in. I mean, Binghamton's supposed to be our number 1. I mean, we've definitely had a tandem this year. Yeah, let's just throw John Binghamton back in. Again, don't forget, Toronto, one of the best teams in the league, as well. So this is another measuring stick game here. All right, so we still sit third, tied with Edmonton with 84 points. We got a 4-point separation there in Anaheim. Here we go. All right, first period, Leafs, Flames, 1-0 them. Austin Matthews, second period. 2-1 for us, McKinnon and Domi, third period. Yes, we hang on for the 3-1 win. Johnny Gaudreau, won't even look at the stats. That's a better night for Binghamton. And we take the 3-1 win. All right, Colorado, McKinnon's former team. Here we go. I'm just trying to sim through this as fast as we can so we can sim the rest of this regular season. All right, Central Scouting, sure. Here we go. Colorado, Calgary. McKinnon's already at 82 points, by the way, against his former team here. We haven't had a lot of luck with the Avalanche this year. First period, they start off with a goal from Nikita Zadorov, 1-0. Second period, 2-1 them. McKinnon does get his first goal, I believe, against his former team. They get one from Calgary native Cale Makar. And third period, come on, Calgary. Fuck's sakes. Colorado's just had our number this year. It's just not even funny. All right, where did we struggle in this one? We can't be losing these games. Fuck. We've lost way too many games since the deadline. -3 for that top pairing. Yikes. Yeah, it's not fun. Not fun, not fun, not fun. 9-1-4, not bad for Binghamton. Just need a little bit more offense there. Keeps us still at third place. All right, here's a huge divisional game because Anaheim is on our tail by 4 points. They sit at 82 points. We sit 2 points back of both San Jose and Edmonton, who Edmonton now has jumped San Jose for the top spot, technically speaking. Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to keep that separation between us and Anaheim, and actually Vegas. Vegas is tied with Anaheim as well, and we have Vegas coming up as well. So these are 3 massive divisional games in a row here, starting with one against Anaheim. So again, these divisional games, we cannot, especially this late in the season, I can't stress it enough, we cannot, absolutely not give up a single point to these teams. We have to take both points in regulation. This is not going to be easy. But here we go. Anaheim and Calgary, this is it. Come on, Flames, please get it done. All right, first period, they start the 1-0 lead. Second period, we've tied it up. Ovechkin twice. That's his first 2-goal game as a Calgary Flame. Come on, third period. We need this one in the third period. Come on, Calgary. Come on, Calgary. Fuck. I want to whip this controller so hard. Okay, this cannot happen at all. Like, Rasmus Anderson starts off the third period, but then we oh my god, I can't believe this. Alright, this is not okay. Alright, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? We gotta switch something up here. Valimaki, Hanifin, struggle. We gotta switch up that top pairing. McKinnon, Gaudreau's line struggling with Ovechkin as well. Oh, I can try throwing Lindholm back up there. 8-5-7, not a good night for Binghamton. We can't lose these divisional games. Like, I can't stress it enough. It is not, it's not good at all. Right, let's go edit lines here. I don't even want to look at the standings. Like, I'm so fucking fed up here. All right. Lindholm, will throw you back there. Throw Ovechkin back down there. Like, I don't know what to do. All right. Defense here. Throw Anderson back up there. Spread out our defensive pairing again. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Something's got to give here. All right, so yeah, we can't afford that. Now the Anaheim Ducks are within 2 points of us. Oh, this is stressful. All right, Stockton player, blah blah blah. All right, head coach replaces player. Sure. All right, so here we are against the Coyotes. Yeah, so 2 points back are both the Ducks and the Knights. The Coyotes are down there at 77 points. This is still a huge divisional game. We need these points more than anything. And you can see the Oilers and Sharks still tied with 90. So obviously still ahead of us there by 4 points. We need to do some catching up here. So we need to start winning games. We've lost way too many games here since the deadline. You know, we just need to turn this thing around here. And we're at the end of the season, and we only have how many games left here. So let's get through these divisional games and take a look at where we sit here. So like I said, massive divisional games here. Have to get these in regulation. Come on, Calgary. Come on. Here we go. First period, Coyotes Flames. 3-1 them. Phil Kessel and Derek Stepan. We do get one from Ovechkin on former Flame Cam Talbot. Second period, come on, Calgary. All right, this is not going well for us. Max Domi, the former Coyote, they get 2. And third period, yeah, we do not have a good night at all. All right, All right, we'll throw Jake Allen in goal. I'm just trying to think what else can we do right now. Like, this is not going well for us. Dubé, holy fuck, a -4 again. So that third line just shit the bed hard on this one. Alright, so that's not good there at all. Yeah, Binghamton had a god-awful night on top of that. So, this is killing us. We've now slipped down to 4th, and we are hanging on to our wild card spot by just 2 points. So we need major changes here. This is not fun. I mean, we can't do anything else now but internally fix our lines. Let's throw Domi there. Let's demote Dubé down to the 4th line because he's really struggling. Try Phillips there. Like, I really don't know. We'll keep Ovechkin there. Throw Valimaki back up there, and let's get Jake Allen in goal. I really don't know what to say. This is like the worst time for our team to completely come off the rails. Like, we were doing so good up till the trade deadline. You know, by adding Ovechkin's not making us worse. It made us better, if anything. You know, we didn't touch any roster players except for Bodker. So our team should not be, you know, losing this many games like we are. So we really need to turn it around. I mean, we just lost 2 massive divisional games in a row, which is killing us in our division right now. You can see playoff spots are already being clinched in the East. We want to be up there in our division, clinching them. You know, it's tight. It's tight. We need to just win this game. Vegas, a very important game. They're just 2 points back of us. We have a game in hand on them. But if we let them get these 2 points, we possibly could be out of a playoff spot for the first time in quite a while. And we can't afford that at this time of year. These 2 points are massive for the Calgary Flames. So we need these 2 in regulation. We cannot afford a 3rd straight horrible divisional game. Here we go, Calgary. Come on. Please get this in regulation. Like, God, I don't know what else to say right now. This is just... Oh, right, here we go. First period, 1-0 us, Monahan. Second period, 2-2. We got to go for McKenna. Third period, come on, Calgary. Just pull away with this one in regulation. Please, for once. Oh, my God. All right, we get a point out of it. We give a point to them. I don't like to see that. If we don't get this extra point, I am like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Come on, Calgary. There it is. Overtime winner, Rasmus Sanderson. We still give up a point to Vegas, which hurts a lot. That is a horrible, horrible stretch. We give up a possible... 5 of a possible 6 points, and we only get 1 of a possible 6 points in 3 massive divisional games this late in the season. I mean, you just can't afford any of that shit right now. Wow, this is horrible. All right, let's get up to this Tampa game here and kind of just survey the situation here with the remainder of the season. 88 points. We're back to 3rd in the division, but I'm still not... All right, let's take a look at the calendar here. I apologize if this is a longer episode as well. I mean, we don't have a lot of games left here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games left. 6 games, 7 games. We got St. Louis down there. So 7 games left. This needs to be our best 7-game stretch ever. We got to treat this like it's a playoff series. 7 games here. We got to win, you know, 4 or 5 of them at least. At least. You know, this is insane. It's not going to be easy, too, because we got... Oh, look at this stretch down here. Anaheim, San Jose, Edmonton, Vancouver. Now, I know Vancouver is a lot further down in our division, but these divisional games, especially these 3 here, could make or break where we finish in the standings. And even if we finish in a playoff spot, let alone if we are, where do we finish in our division? You know, I don't even know who I want to play in our division. I haven't even looked at that. I don't care at this point. I just want to make the playoffs, like I said. Don't know if we're going to contend for top in our division now. It would take a massive run in these next 7 games. It definitely looked possible at the start of this episode, 1 point out. But now, what are we? A good 6 points out of our division lead. I mean, we'll need a massive run here. Those 3 divisional games, though, including the 2 against San Jose and Edmonton, you know, those could be huge. So let's just try and win games here now and win off the season. 7 games left to go. Here we go, Calgary. We need every point we can at this point and just finish as high as we can. That's the whole goal here. All right, here we go. First period, Flames Lightning. Second period, 1-0 them. Yanni Gourde. Third period, come on, please, Calgary, please get something. No, just no. Let's just shit the bed, because why not? Perfect time to do that. Let's just fuck things up. All right. Put Binghamton back in goal. I don't know what else to do. Oh, I would say this is a good thing that it happens before the playoffs, but we might not even make the playoffs the way we're going at right now. Yeah, I did not expect this to be as stressful in the stretch run as it is right now, but it's not fun. Let's throw Ovechkin back up on that top line. I don't even know what to do. All right, let's try Nashville here. The amount of games we have lost is staggering since the deadline. This is just unbelievable. We still sit third by a single point. We're hanging on to our playoff lives. We need these wins here. Let's get 2 points here before this big divisional stretch that will probably give me a heart attack because I guarantee we're going to lose them. All right, here we go. First period, Preds Flames. There we go. That's what you want to see. Lindholm, Bennett, Ovechkin. Second period, much better. Valimaki, Domi, Monahan, McKinnon all scoring. And then 2 more here by us. McKinnon twice. I believe that's a hat trick for Nathan McKinnon. We'll take the 9-1 win there over the Preds. If only we could do that in every game, that'd be nice. A 4-point night for Hanifin, 4-point night for Monahan. Hat trick there for McKinnon. 3-point night there for Chucky. Domi onward. 9-6-4. Obviously, a really good night for Binghamton, but that's just one game. All right. If only that was worth more than 2 points. All right. So here we go. This guy's where, let's just continue. I don't care about the AHL right now. I'm stressing out about the NHL. All right, so in our division, the Edmonton Oilers have clinched the first playoff spot with 96 points. We are 90 points or 6 points back of them. Like I said, it's going to be tough. Still within reach, but it's going to be tough. We do have a game in hand on them. San Jose just 2 points ahead of us, or behind Edmonton, 4 points ahead of us with 94. Look at Anaheim and goal in Vegas, still 89. It was still 1 point back of us. Like, it is more of a concern of the teams below us now than it is ahead of us. I don't care if we don't catch San Jose or Edmonton. I mean, I'd love to catch them, but as long as we just finish it where we are, those teams behind us are scaring me very much. And we've got Anaheim next here, which is the team right below us at 89 points. So this, like I said, this next stretch, we've got Anaheim, we've got San Jose, and we got Edmonton. If we do not win these, if we do not do good in these next 3 games, especially, not all 3 of them, there's a good chance we could maybe not make the playoffs, and a good chance that we finish somewhere we don't want to in our division. So they're going to be the 3 biggest games of our season, and it is, this is pretty much a do or die at this point. So I don't know what to do. We're coming off a really good win against Nashville. Just hope it's enough here against one of the teams that we're fighting with right now in Anaheim, and let's basically make or break our season. I can't believe I'm saying that, but here we go. Take a deep breath. Calgary, Anaheim, first period, 2-0 us. That's what you want to see. Gaudreau, Dubé, second period. All right, they get 2, we get 1 from Gus Forsling. Do we hang on in the third? Please, please, please. Nope. No. Okay. Wow. We were winning the whole game, and then the third period happened. I don't know what to say right now. This is not how I was expecting anything to go. We have a pretty severe problem here with this team, and I don't know what is. It looks almost like goaltending too, since the deadline has just dropped off massively after doing decent all season long. It looks like Binghamton and Allen have just decided to both collapse on our team at once, which is definitely a problem. All right, so that does drop us down to 5th in our division, and drops us to clinging onto a wild card spot. We now have to battle the Central Division for that. Which is Colorado, who is tied with us. I can't say it enough. I mean, if we don't win out here, we might not make the playoffs. So let's get up to the San Jose game. I guess try throwing Jake Allen in goal. There's really little we can do at this point than just pray and hope. Pray and hope that something works out. We'll make a little minor change in our bottom 6. Like I said, guess just try and make the playoffs at this point. We're in fear of missing the playoffs for a second straight year, which could absolutely be disastrous for this organization. All right, so here we go. San Jose, Calgary. This is it. This is our season on the line. First period, nothing. Second period, 2-1 them. Only goal from Monahan, and third period. 4-4. We get a point. We give up a massive point to San Jose. Doesn't matter what happens at this point. We just need that extra point. Do we get it? We do in overtime. Rasmus Andersson, second straight overtime winner for this team. Yeah, I'm just praying at this point right now. We were sitting in such a good spot at the deadline. 6th in the NHL, 2nd in our div. No, what was it? 4-some points out of top spot in the league, and what happened? So we do get back to 3rd in our division for the time being. Now back to 4th, okay. With 92 points. It looks like Edmonton and San Jose both clinch. So San Jose probably clinches, which is that 1 point against us. Anaheim's ahead of us by a point. Vegas is behind us by a point. Where's Colorado? Colorado's still at 90. So they're back of us by 2 points, and we've got 3 games left. All right, this is here we go. Edmonton, Calgary. Basically, we need all 6 points, and hope that the other teams lose out. Let's just wing it and hope we make the playoffs at this point. Here we go. Flames, Oilers. Potential first round matchup for us. Domi twice, Valimaki, second period. Ovechkin there. They get one from Draisaitl, third period. Do we hang on? Nope. No, of course we don't. We give up a point to them. Do we get that extra point? Nope. Do we get that extra point in a shootout? Nope. No, we don't. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I am not very confident in this team's abilities to do a lot this year. All right. So we get a point. I'm going to put Binghamton in for the last 2 games and hope that, 93 points, we are clinging on to that final playoff spot. Like, we are absolutely clinging on, with the skin of our teeth right now. This is scary. This is scary to say the least. I would have never expected it to. I guess I shouldn't have said that because, the way last year went, did the same thing. So, this should, Vancouver's out of the playoffs. They're probably eliminated by now. So theoretically should be an easier game. And then we got the Central Division leading St. Louis Blues to close out our season. So let's just play these last 2 games and see if we make the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's as simple as that. All right. Just fuck off for a thick second here, Stockton. All right. Literally hanging by a thread. It's literally 50-50. You could flip a coin if we're going to make the playoffs at this point. We just need to basically win these last 2 games. So we're going to do what we can do. Here we go. Flames, Canucks, nothing. Second period. 1-0 us. Do we hang on? We do. We'll hang on for the 2-1 win. Ovechkin with the biggest game winner of the Calgary Flames season right there. Binghamton probably played all right. Oh my God. 95 points. That has us clinging. Like, absolutely still clinging. We have not clinched, of course, but we are clinging to a wildcard spot here. Tied with Anaheim. So, I mean, we can still finish in the top 3 if they lose the final game and we win. That means we would play San Jose. Actually, no, because San Jose is tied with Edmonton, so they could flip. So still a lot to be decided here in the very last game of the season. I just want to see behind us is Vegas by 2 points. And Minnesota is behind us by 1 point. Yeah, so I mean, nothing's decided. I mean, Vegas could finish ahead of us. Minnesota, Colorado could. We could still miss the playoffs in this last game. So basically, if we want to be guaranteed the Stanley Cup playoffs, we have to win this last game. If we want to be guaranteed the Stanley Cup playoffs. Actually, let's take an updated look here now. Both wildcard spots in our div. We're tied now with Vegas. Yeah, I mean, if we want to make the playoffs, I can't stress it enough. We need to win this last game. We can still finish in the top 3 in the 3rd spot, but we could also still finish out of the playoffs. It's as simple as that. So we will see. We will see what happens in this last game and this last day for the entire standings, and let's see who makes the playoffs. We are putting everything on the line in this last game to make the fucking Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll see if it's enough against the top team in the Central. First period, 1-1. Second period. Okay, that's a massive second period for us. Do we hang on, though? 4-2 for us going to the 3rd. We do. We hang on. Okay. We might have just helped our cause here with making the playoffs. Ovechkin with the goal there. Monahan. We won't even look at the stats. Do we make the Stanley Cup playoffs? Regular season has ended, but we do make the Stanley Cup playoffs. We actually do finish third. So we will play the San Jose Sharks. So they tie. Okay, so this is the updated. Let's advance a day here. Our regular season has ended. All right, so everybody's done. Okay, so that was a lot more. I don't know what you want to say. A lot more. I really don't know what to say about that last stretch of hockey there. I was not the way I was expecting to going, but we finished third in our division, 97 points. We actually finished only 3 points out of top in our div. Edmonton does win the Pacific this year. We're 3 points back of them, and San Jose is also tied for 100 with Edmonton. We finished ahead of Anaheim by a point, but you can see how tight our division was yet again. Separated by what? 5 points from Vegas, who misses the playoffs, to Edmonton, who's first in our div. At least there was a little bit of separation with Vancouver, Arizona, and LA, who are clearly, the bottom feeders in our div, but still the top 5 teams in our division made it tight. In the Central, it looks like this: St. Louis, Winnipeg, and Colorado. Minnesota gets in with a wild card spot as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to end this episode here. It's gone on a long time. McKinnon does hit the 100-point plateau. We're going to look at all the stats and everything in the next video. We'll look at our team stats. We'll look at our season stats, where we finish in terms of the regular season, where we finish in terms of all of our players, and we'll look at all the standings individually. But it looks like we will play the not the St. Louis Blues, my God. We will play the San Jose Sharks, which isn't much better, in the Stanley Cup playoffs in round 1, and we'll see if we can go on a magical run here and somehow win the Stanley Cup. But that last stretch of hockey was definitely not what you wanted to see. Definitely makes me a little bit nervous for the Stanley Cup playoffs in our 5th year here, but we'll see if somehow we can go on a big run here. So that will do it. The Calgary Flames have Alex Ovechkin, and we are planning on going on a long playoff run. We'll see if we can do it in episode 39. I believe it's 39.